Hi there, folks. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Cool Gaming Bros channel update for the month of March. I am long overdue to make this video, as I am overdue for a haircut, but I figure I'd tackle this first. As you know, this is an update to let you guys know what's going on in the channel, and this one in particular is kind of a monumental update that I'll explain shortly. First of all, I want to talk about the games I'm playing. Namely, Dark Souls 2. As you can see, I finally got to playing this, and it's good fun. Maybe even great fun, but I'm a bit disappointed that it's not the epic, sprawling, morbid journey that was Dark Souls. Instead, it feels like an action-adventure game with puzzles and heinous traps. That's really what it seems like to me, but it's fun for that. I appreciate it for what it is, not for what it could be, and it's good fun. And of course, I'm going to finish that game. In fact, I got episodes rendering as we speak. There's a whole lot more multiplayer component to this game, for better or worse. I've never, ever been much of a fan of the PvP in Dark Souls. As far as medieval fighting games go, I hold Warband as the golden standard for this.
My lord!
I think it has the most versatile combat system, and it doesn't really rely on stat gains or invisible numbers behind the screens when you're fighting someone. It's mostly about your skill. And I don't think Dark Souls does it that well. Not with the lag, the phantom stabs, and, you know, the sort of badassery. Plus 10. But nonetheless, it's fun. It really is fun, and I'm enjoying it, and you'll see more adventures. Likewise, I will conclude Red Dead Redemption and pick back up some of my other medieval fantasy games I've done. So, really, that's all I have on the itinerary so far. But more than that, this channel update is to let you guys know that I am migrating away from YouTube. I am fully committing myself to Twitch. Oh no, E-Man, what are you doing? I love you on YouTube. Why are you leaving us? Don't worry. There's reasoning for all this, and I'll gladly explain it. First of all, as curator for the videos and playthroughs on this channel, I have the luxury of seeing what people watch and what people are drawn to here, thanks to YouTube Analytics. And over the past few months, it's become very apparent to me that the majority of people, and I'm talking like 100-to-1 ratio here, come pretty much solely for CAG videos or my Dark Souls playthrough. I am grateful that people watch those things, but it's become quite clear to me that pretty much any series that is not that gets marginal views. They're not even listed in my top viewed videos. Therefore, the effort I put into editing playthroughs for other series, the reward seems quite marginal. I mean, even a single glance by someone is a reward in itself, but a lot of these series don't even get that much, so I figured, why expend all this effort editing videos that are largely unwatched, and instead refocus that energy into actually playing all the games I've always wanted to play. And through streaming, I can make time for that. This is an experimental period, but it's an idea that I've been tossing around in my head that will finally see fruition here. I plan to stream 6 nights a week, late at night, as that is my natural gaming time. In fact, pretty much all my YouTube content was made in the wee hours of the morning, but I'll be streaming from 11 p.m. Eastern Time to around 5 a.m. Eastern Time. These are strange hours, I agree, but they're a byproduct of, as a gamer, just playing way too late into the morning, which evolved into getting jobs that involved working at graveyards. So, nighttime is my time, and that's when I'll be streaming and trying to beat all the games that I've wanted to beat for so long now. Now, here's a little backstory and deeper reasoning for this decision. It really isn't spur of the moment. I started this channel as a collaborative effort with my friends, since I like playing multiplayer games, and I was inspired back in the day by Things like Red vs. Blue that just tried to capture camaraderie with gamers. And after a while, though, I realized that my bros really weren't too into it. But I was too afraid to do things on my own. Like, who just wants to watch you? People want to watch a group, I told myself. But as time's gone on, I realized that my channel now has kind of a split identity. I am trying to do single-player stuff on a channel founded on multiplayer shenanigans. So, going to Twitch really allows me to carve out my own identity once again. Really, that's partially the reason. Even though I still have the Cool Gaming Bros moniker, I wish I could change that on Twitch, but it's too late now. Maybe just remove the S and I'm fine. But the other reason is that I really like the multiplayer interactiveness that is Twitch. It isn't the same as playing with a friend, but it kind of simulates having a bro on your couch next to you, and that's how I associate my gaming in a way, as a communal thing, or what I'd like it to be. You see, I spent a lot of time playing games by myself, and it really wasn't as fulfilling. I became an expert at most games I played, but deep down, I just wanted to play with friends. Late night streaming on Twitch is my way of giving back to people who might feel the same way. Pseudo-insomniacs who just want a gaming hub to hang out with a bro who'll talk and play some nifty games. That's really my ideal for this, and for a month, I plan to do this, streaming diligently and on time, to see how it goes, and to gauge the result. If it's not very favorable, I can always come back to YouTube, but I think it's worth trying, and worth setting a goal for myself to do it. As for what I'll be playing, well, that's a little up to you guys. I have created a Google document with games really just off the top of my head. Games I've always wanted to beat, but have never dedicated the time to do so. This month will be, in a way, just a pure, gaming marathon of really great titles. That's really what I care about doing, playing good games and sharing them with people. Because, you see, my origins in gaming are a really, really nerdy one. I collected games for the bigger part of my youth. Video games are my fucking world. And, in fact, going through my closet, I actually busted out my collection of things I own and games. And the majority are there. Going through my gaming collection that's been sealed away in cardboard boxes this whole time has helped bring about this epiphany that I just want to experience these games rather than collect them. There was a point in my youth where I kind of stopped playing games and became so focused on collecting them. I gravitated towards JRPGs for a long time and collected those. It became important for me to own these virtual worlds, and some misguided notion that in owning the game, I was somehow part of the world contained in that game. It's kind of sad thinking, but for a kid with no life, it's kind of what got me going. These pictures don't even include all my NES, Genesis, and Game Gear, Game Boy titles that are tucked away in some other box that I haven't opened yet. But my collection was really astounding after a while. It wasn't until I was in university that I looked back at this hobby of collecting and felt a weird sort of shame. Like, why did I spend all my money and energies doing this? I didn't get the fulfillment that I thought I'd get, and in a way I felt ashamed of what I'd done, and so I set out to sell a lot of the games that I owned on forums. I didn't need the money, I just wanted the memory gone. And I sold some really awesome stuff. I used to have Suikoden 2. I had Ogre Tactics, Knight of Lotus sealed copy. I sold that for a pittance as well. I got rid of a lot. I had more than this, but I just wanted to be done with it. It just brought me sadness for some strange reason. And it wasn't until years later that I felt more secure about myself that I had a different epiphany about my game collection. I realized that my love for all these games was not some shameful secret. to hide or to throw away or sell or cast off. It was a part of who I was. I love games. I really genuinely love games. But now I want to love playing games, you know? We only have so much time on this earth. And I had a stupid, maybe even silly idea when I was younger and beginning to collect all these games that I'm collecting them because I want to experience them all. I want to experience all the best games ever made. And I realized that was not a silly goal at all. That is an awesome goal, because the goals we set for ourselves in life are all we have to aspire to. And so, I want to pick up that childish dream and play and beat games on Twitch. That way, I just go through them one at a time and enjoy them for all they're worth, and then move on to the next one. That is why I compiled my Google Documents list, which is only a partial list, but there, you can give me ideas on what game you really want to see. And that's all I need to get going, and my own private motivation, and that's why I'll be on Twitch 6 nights a week, just playing games for a month, just to try it out. I call this my backlog challenge, a personal challenge to get through this shit, and see what all the talented people who made the music and assets and created all the code for all these games, what they came up with, and what they had to share with the world. And I'll share their creations with you guys. I know that it's a strange hour. Most people might not be able to attend, and that is why I'll make an effort to catalog the material in VODs for YouTube. I'll cut them up in decently bite-sized chunks. Of course, the editing will not be on par with what I do in Sony Vegas with pre-recorded footage, but I'll try to remove really annoying time frames in the game where nothing happens or I'm backtracking for an item I missed. I'll try. But I'll keep this YouTube up for that stuff, and don't worry, things like Dark Souls and my other playthroughs that are currently going on, those I will still privately record and edit, and maybe I'll do a few games like that outside of the stream. But, hey man, anything worth doing is worth doing right, so I will be starting this Sunday. I'll pick a full game to play, but just for tonight I actually plan to just beat Spelunky in an eggplant run. Probably not going to work out, but I'm going to try. And from there, I'll work on other games. So, don't be too sad. Yes, my YouTube isn't going to be what it used to be, but hopefully it'll become something more. And I will mention, as an aside, that there is only a single game in my collection that I regret parting with, and is the only game that I really would care that if my house burnt down that I kept. All these other titles I realize are just cartridges or CDs. They really aren't anything of value besides the value you ascribe to them, but a while ago in college I sold a scratched to high hell, like a cat got behind it and was sharpening its claws in the damn thing, copy of Tactics Ogre for the PS1 without box art or anything or manual. It was just a damn CD. But for some reason someone wanted this game because it was so rare. But I'm sad I sold this game simply because of the memories I attached to this specific title. You see, as a kid, my mom would take me every other week to Blockbuster because I loved video games, and she'd let me go around and pick a game, and then I'd play it and we'd bring it back, and sometimes I'd get a different one. But while I was there, up on the top shelf in the first row, there was always this game called Tactics Ogre. It had a cool symbol, insignia of an eagle, and on the box art, and I'd always walk by it. I couldn't turn the case around to look up anything about the game. I didn't have much internet skills either. All I saw was this cool little box art with the title Tactics Ogre. And I'd always pass over it. I'd pass over it, but it was in the back of my mind. And then one week, my mom took me to the store, and I picked it out. I picked it out, and I was like, I'm going to try this game on my PS1. And it became my favorite game ever. It is my favorite game I've ever played. I love Tactics Ogre. And I played it so much that I'd fall asleep and I'd have the TV still on, and my mother would come in the room in the morning and turn off the TV, and she would not turn off the PS1 because she understood that I didn't save any progress, and if you did that, you'd fuck over my progress. She cared enough to do that for me, and so eventually I began renting this game so often that my mother just said, dude, just keep the game. We'll buy it. Like, just keep it. Don't return it. Say we lost it. And so that's how I came to acquire the most scratched up and beat up copy of Tactics Ogre that still worked. Yeah, I regret selling that game simply because it contains memories of my mother. But, yeah, that is an aside. Although I own all these games, they don't own me. If my house burnt down, I'd be sad, but it wouldn't be devastating. After all, what matters is the experiences contained within the games, and that's what I want to unlock on Twitch. So, yeah. That's it. That's my channel update for the month. I think I should also take the time here to do a shout out to the music and give you a musical recommendation for the month. This month, my recommendation is actually a combination of two artists, simply because the one I wanted to pick is too fucking loud to talk over. So, let us begin with the one you've been hearing, Breathe Owl Breathe, a band from Michigan who sing about caves, marshlands, and black bears with a very soft, spare sound is what I want to call it. It's highly instrumental. It's kind of ethereal sounding in a way, and it's very, very relaxing. It's hard to describe their sound. It's soft and, as cheesy as it sounds, charming. I think when the band members are asked to describe their music, they're a little stumped and they say it sounds like swimming. That's a neat way to describe it, but if you like it, please check them out. But my main band that I wanted to showcase is Bear vs. Shark. This is an old band and a dead band, sadly. They broke up years ago, but I heard their music growing up, and I still listen to it to this day because they are so high octane and full of energy. Their sound is fucking explosive. But the beauty of it is that though it is hardcore, that is what their music is, it's kind of post-rock mixed with hardcore, I have never heard a recorded album contain as much energy as the albums of Bear vs. Shark. And part of my love for them is for the strange juxtaposition of their hard music with Mark Poffey's lyrics. He is the lead singer for the band, and his lyrics are hard to describe. I've always called them a nonsense of poetry that the man screams at me, and scream them he does, with such unbridled energy, and fuck, sometimes he even yodels. But it's pretty awesome, and I just love how surreal his lyrics are. It just works really great with the rhythm of the music. And in fact, one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard is from his song, which states that this song is a poem, a combination of a sentence broken up to form a rhythm, and you are a poem, a combination of my senses broken up to form an image. That's fucking poetry, but it's mixed with some hardcore sound. I've never heard a sound like it. It's fucking wonderful, and I'm saddened they broke up because if there was one band I wanted to see live, it would be these guys. Thankfully, Mark Poffey still makes music in a different band called Bars of Gold. More electronic sound, still his awesome yelling, and I encourage you to check Bear vs. Shark out because that is awesome music. As is Breathe Owl Breathe. Very disparate sounds, but both soothing in their own way. But that sums up my video. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy and stay happy. Most important things in life. And I'll see you on Twitch, and I'll still see you on YouTube. So, keep abreast. Farewell.